Hi everybody, welcome to Off the Rack. I am Sal.
I'm Ben.
And I'm Tiffany.
Today we're going to review Batman number 9 from Tom King and Mikhail Yanin. But before we do that, if you don't have time for the full episode, Tiffany, what's Batman number 9 all about?
I gotta tell you, this is like that nightmare where like you called on me and I'm like, this is the start of a new arc for Batman, the I Am Suicide arc.
Yeah.
In which we get to meet some crazy Bane. He's got like skulls and stuff and he like sits on them and it's creepy and crazy and he's talking with Psycho Pirate and then Batman goes to Arkham to make his own Suicide Squad.
So yeah, we're going to be talking about Batman number 9 and reviewing it based on the art, writing, and story, and then we're going to give you our recommendations of books that are coming out this week. So, what do we think of the art for this book? Mikhail Yanin is... this is the first time I've seen their work on Batman, and I hope it isn't the last because I loved it.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, it wasn't just him. I think June Chung is the colorist. You're awesome. You're awesome!
Yeah, it was just an amazing looking book.
Yes.
And I think it set the right tone for what we're going for.
I agree. I think his art and her colors shine when they're in like a darker place. And I don't just mean like the lights are low, but I mean also like in tone. Like when we're with Bane, when we're in Arkham. The Bane stuff was my favorite for the art, I think.
It was very cool.
It was so just, it was just cool and just really expressive and
Are we assuming that Bane was the character who was in that little well, trying to struggle and swim and live?
Yeah.
That's Little Bane.
Because that water, like, going up, and every time that color was there, I was amazed.
I dug, what was it, Comixology's guided view for that, because it was just, you were basically in there. It was really cool.
That would give me, like, a panic attack.
It was horrific.
It was like, no!
I didn't like the fact that things were touching him.
Oh my god.
That was my problem. My problem wasn't the water. My problem wasn't the swimming. My problem wasn't the breathing.
It wasn't eating rats?
No.
Because we noticed Bane eats rats.
Oh, yeah.
Like Batman.
That was funny. No, my problem was the fact that when the water rose, everything was crawling on him and touching. I was like, no, thank you. Check, please.
Right. I'd like to be out of this prison.
Yeah.
Tom King, I think, is finally hitting his stride on Batman with this issue. This is what I expect when I read Tom King's work. It is, I felt like it was kind of like getting there. It was a slow boil, but we're finally here after we established all this stuff that we don't need to read anymore. Like, that's totally irrelevant to what's happening, even though there are plot points that are all connected and brought about from his first issue in his run all the way up to the 9th issue.
Right.
But this is the one where I'm like, oh, this is cool.
Yeah. Oh, the story is starting.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I'm like, oh, I see, because I love Tom King's work on Vision. I've heard his Omega Men is spectacular. I gotta get into that.
I have like a couple of issues about
I know.
I never got a chance to read them.
It was very moody, and I was like, this is what I'm expecting, and I've not been getting that, but now I'm in.
Yeah, and he, like, does a really good job of, I don't want to spoil anything, but of like faking you out and thinking one thing's gonna happen and then it does not.
Yes.
The characters really shine when they were talking back and forth.
Oh yeah, Batman getting into the heads of his villains and his villains kind of getting into his own head as well.
And the choices, good choices, fun choices.
Yeah, unexpected choices.
A character.
Really weird.
Again, this doesn't ruin anything, but the ventriloquist is there.
Yes.
I was like, dude, I like the ventriloquist.
People ask me.
What a weird, random choice.
Character. People ask me what the 2 greatest ventriloquist stories are. I think this probably will be one of them.
Yeah, right?
There's this moment, I'm going to give it away. There's a moment where he says, most of the time I just did what Scarface told me what to do.
Yeah.
And then Batman's like, let's go. And he's like, yes, sir. And you're like, oh my god.
Batman is the new puppet.
Yes! I'm like, I am in.
Especially since he grabbed his hand.
Yes.
The hand that he puppets with.
That was really cool. I'm so on board for that.
Right?
I was a little confused because when they were walking around and talking, Arkham mentioned, you've got the ventriloquist, or you've got the puppet master, he said.
Yeah.
You've got the spy and the clown girl. And the characters that they picked were the ventriloquist and Bronze Tiger. And Punch.
Yeah, and not Harley Quinn? Yeah.
And I'm like, I guess Bronze Tiger is the spy?
Yeah.
Or is that Punch?
No, that's, Bronze Tiger, I think, is the spy. Also, Bronze Tiger was an original member of the Suicide Squad, post-Crisis, pre-New 52.
Okay, that's cool.
And
I had no idea.
That was cool. I was like, what a cool callback. Like, Bronze Tiger is not an outright villain, which is why they have, like, an actual rapport.
Yeah, that was
the
cool.
one character that Batman will probably be able to rely on and will probably be betrayed by.
Right.
Or will probably die.
Exactly.
Right.
One or the other is going to happen with Bronze Tiger calling it now. That said, was probably the most cheerful moment of the issue,
right?
And very welcome respite from all the Dower stuff.
Now,
Right.
are we gonna mention the final reveal?
No, that's why.
No, let's keep it to them.
Okay, cool.
So pick it up. There you have it, everybody. Batman #9 from Tom King and Mikel Janin. It's fantastic. Loved it. Check it out. Pick it up. It came out last week.
Something really interesting about this book that normally doesn't happen with me with comics, I kept on looking around and seeing new things inside of it, and it made me do research. Like when I saw Doe, like that blonde girl in the thing, and
like,
she drew
the Legionnaire symbol, and you're like,
I had no
what
idea.
the hell's that?
I thought that was LexCorp, and I'm like, I started doing all this research, and then I learned what Legion of Superheroes was, and I got really into it.
It's actually a callback to DC Rebirth, when she shows up, she's a Jane Doe, and they don't know who she is. It's because she's from the future.
I didn't care at all about her.
I liked it. I was like, that's cool. You know what? You know why they did that? To link Tom King's Batman to the overarching DC Rebirth story that's happening. So now, let's get into the recommendations.
My recommendations, because I technically have two, this week, the first one's going to be Doctor Strange and the Sorcerer Supreme #1, which is part of the Marvel Now initiative. It's Doctor Strange, so you know I'm going to pick it up anyway. It's written by Robbie Thomas, It's written by Robbie Thompson with art by Javier Rodriguez. Robbie Thompson actually wrote the most recent annual, so I've already experienced his Doctor Strange. I do like it. He's a little more, I don't know, he's less rough around the edges like Aaron's is, and I kind of like that. So, based on the story, which is supposedly that Doctor Strange realizes that one Sorcerer Supreme isn't enough for whatever he is facing, and he has to go and collect others, like Merlin and Wiccan and all that. So that's kind of cool. It'll be a team book with him. It'll be like Doctor Strange's Defenders, but they're all Sorcerer Supremes, so which would be like the Defender Supreme. I don't know. Supremes? Yeah. It's got Doctor Strange on the cover. You know I'm going to buy it. So it's the simplest way to make money from me. And the other thing I'm going to recommend is Saga #39, of course written by Brian K. Vaughan, with art by Fiona Staples. You read last month, you know you have to pick up this month's. That's all I'm going to say. I'm still in shock from last month's issue, so I'm getting it.
My pick for this week is, of course, Extraordinary X-Men #15, written by Jeff Lemire and art by Victor Ibanez. I've been following up with this book, and I've been reading it pretty much religiously. It's a great story so far, and I know that before it was Humberto Ramos doing the art. It's a little different because Humberto Ramos' character is a little bit more cartoony, while Victor Ibanez' characters are a little bit more realistic. But I like that change, and I also like the fact that Victor has been knocking the backgrounds out of the park. The scenes that they've been setting in, these wonderful, otherworldly locations, are so vivid and well-drawn, and expertly colored as well, that it's just right up my alley. So the story's been fun so far. If you guys read issue #14, you know that some crazy stuff went down with both Magic and Storm, and that this little girl and this crazy tentacle monster thing is coming into another dimension, over into Limbo. So I'm super excited for this month's issue to just, I need to know what happens.
Last week I made a faux pas, if you will. I screwed up and said the Vision #12 is coming out, so I'm sorry you were probably going out there looking for it. That said, this week, tomorrow, Vision #12 from Tom King and Gabriel Walta is out, and it's going to be the last issue of Tom King's Vision probably ever, so go get it, and then when you're done, go get all the collected volumes, because this is easily the best series that Marvel's publishing in the year 2016. So go pick it up, wrap it all up in the neat little package, and enjoy your really, really cool robot story set against the Marvel landscape. This could set things up for Vision as a character and for the greater Avengers universe for the next year or two. I don't know if they're gonna do it, but it's pretty damn cool, and it could change the entire landscape of the Avengers and Vision as a character. I've never given a crap about Vision. I've been recommending this book since issue 1. It's because this book is just so great, so check it out. So there you have it, everybody. That was our recommendations for this week, and you can check out those books coming out tomorrow on Wednesday. Go pick them up. They're probably super awesome, and at least that's what we hope. That's why we picked them.
Yeah.
So
if they're not, I'm going to be really angry.
I'm going to be very disappointed. It would be very disappointing for them to suck at this point now.
Yes.
Yeah, you're like, come on.
Why? But anyway, we'll see you guys next week with another episode of Off the Rack. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. I am Sal.
I'm Ben.
And I'm Tiffany.
So long.